Coming to you from the Lydia Media Studios in the heart of Lewiston, Auburn, it's Lydia's Lunch Bunch, LA's afternoon morning show with Mark and Pam. We don't know where Sarah is.
She's somewhere.
I think she's at a trade show.
She's like at a real work thing.
Right. She's not having as much fun as we are.
No, we just sit in here and play.
That's right. We are covering news and events in the greater LA area and talking to the people making a difference in our community. Feel free to share your comments, questions, or suggestions via email at podcast@lydiamediallc.com.
And today's show is brought to you by United Piping, serving residential and commercial customers with new installations and repairs. Call today and schedule your oil and gas boiler cleanings at 754-4556 UPI, the best plumbers around. And by Ruper's Beverage and Redemption. When it comes to beer, wine, and spirits, don't botch it, squatch it. At 5 locations in Lewiston, Auburn, and Oxford. Learn more at rupersbeverage.com. And remember, the party starts at Ruper's.
And we have the pleasure of being joined in studio today by the owner of UpFront Home Inspections, Rick Browning. How you doing?
Doing well this morning. How about yourself?
Excellent. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
So appreciate your time. We're going to learn a whole lot about home inspections and a whole lot more about what you do, because you do a lot more than inspect homes.
Whole lot more.
Right? Yeah. So we're going to talk to Rick all about that coming up here in just a bit. But before we get there, let's take a look at some headlines for Tuesday, June 17th.
Central Maine Power customers will see their monthly bills increase by about $5 starting in July. CMP said Maine has seen an uptick in intense storms that were historic in scale, leaving hundreds of thousands without power in 2023 and 24. The lingering costs are part of the calculus.
Maine is set to receive $26 million as part of a $7.4 billion settlement with bankrupt drug maker Purdue Pharma. The settlement aims to resolve thousands of lawsuits accusing the company of fueling the nation's opioid epidemic through its marketing of OxyContin. Maine will receive the funds over the next 10 years.
Longtime radio DJ Lori Vornis announced she is retiring. The 59-year-old WHOM morning show host began her career in 1993 on WMGX and has been a mainstay in Maine radio for over 3 decades. Vornis is undecided about her future, but she does love the idea of working in a bakery. Her last day will be Friday, June 27th.
Bakery.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right.
Yeah,
she bakes? Cool.
Still, she's used to getting up early.
Right.
That'll do it. The city of Auburn announced that its 7th annual Blues and Brews Festival will take place during the Lewiston Auburn Balloon Festival. The event is scheduled for August 16th from noon to 5 p.m. in Festival Plaza and will feature a classic car show, food trucks, craft brews, and live blues. For more information, visit auburnblues.com.
The weather?
Shall we talk about the weather?
I mean, it's been pretty decent.
Yeah,
but,
well, it's about to change.
Yeah.
But no rain Saturday.
That's right.
Fingers crossed. It's only Tuesday, Rick.
We hope. We hope. All right, Alex, here we go.
Weather, weather, weather. Weather, 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 weather. Weather, weather is the best. Is the best. Weather, weather, weather.
I love it.
Cloudy today with some evening showers. We'll have a high of 70 and a low of 55. Early morning showers give way to cloudy skies tomorrow with a high of 74 and a low of 60. Scattered showers on Thursday with highs in the 80s.
In sports, Roman Anthony hit his first Major League home run, and Lucas Giolito struck out 10 over 6 shutout innings as the Red Sox beat the Mariners 2-0. They'll play again tonight at 9:30 in Seattle.
Do we know who won the basketball game last night?
Yeah, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Yep, so they're up 3-2 now. Do you
I
want
started watching it, but I faded.
Are you an impartial observer?
Yes.
Do you have
No, I don't care.
Just want to see some good hoops, right?
Yep. I mean, in NBA, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's very frustrating.
Sometimes
to
it's
watch.
painful.
Yes. We have the high school playoff schedule. Class C South Final, Monmouth versus Mount Abram, plays at 3 p.m. at St. Joseph's College. That's in Standish. And Class D South Final, St. Dom's versus Richmond, also at 3 p.m. today at the University of Southern Maine in Gorham.
In softball, Class A North Final, our Edward Little Red Eddies taking on Bangor at 6:30 right here in Auburn at Central Maine Community College.
Boys lacrosse, we have Class C semifinal, Oak Hill, Monmouth, Lisbon, St. Dom's versus Marana Cook, Winthrop. They play at 5 p.m. at Coney High School in Augusta.
That is your news, weather, and sports. And right now it's time for the podcast segment that is sweeping the Twin Cities. It's time for famous people birthdays.
They're famous. It's their birthdays. It's famous people birthdays. It's famous people birthdays.
See, even when Sarah's not here, we find a way to bring her in.
Yeah, of course.
We're going to start off with actor and comedian Will Forte, who is 55 years old today. He was a cast member and writer on Saturday Night Live for 8 seasons from 2002 to 2010. And he also played a recurring character named MacGruber that became a feature film. Does anybody remember MacGruber?
I've heard of it, but I'm terrible with famous people's birthday because I don't pay attention to who plays in these movies a lot of times. I have literally never heard of Will Forte.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It was... Rick, have you heard of him?
I've heard the MacGruber. I'm horrible with actors' names,
Yeah,
though.
see?
I
He's
could
with
see
me.
faces and recognize them
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
But
Yeah, it
actual
was...
names,
I'm with you on that.
It's a parody of MacGyver.
yeah.
Actor Greg Kinnear is 62 years old today. He was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for his role in As Good as It Gets.
That was a great movie.
Actor Thomas Hayden Church is 65 years old today. He was in Wings. He played the mechanic. I think his name was Lloyd in the sitcom Wings. You remember that one, Rick? Yep. He was also in the film Sideways, and he played Sandman in the Marvel Comics cinematic universe in Spider-Man 3 and Spider-Man No Way Home, and played the lead for a couple of seasons in Ned and Stacy. Comedian Joe Piscopo is 74 years old today, also a former cast member of Saturday Night Live from 1980 to 1984, and he played Danny Verman in the film Johnny Dangerously in 1984.
Don't remember that movie either.
All right, well, I know you know this next guy. Rounding out FPBs for June the 17th is the one and only Barry Manilow.
Who?
Oh, come on.
Kidding. Of course I know Barry Manilow.
Of course, you know, he writes all the songs.
All the songs.
He is 82 years old today.
At the Copa.
That's right. Copacabana. That's why people don't request that we sing.
Yeah.
Just had a little taste of it right there.
We
and-
haven't had requests yet?
No.
No?
It's hard to believe.
No emails about us singing?
Check this out. Barry Manilow has recorded and released 51 top 40 singles, including 13 that hit number 1, 28 that appeared in the top 10, and 36 that reached the top 20.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has 13 platinum and 6 multi-platinum albums and has sold more than 85 million records worldwide.
He's done all right.
He's done okay.
What would we do without Barry?
I don't know. We wouldn't have as many songs.
No.
I'll tell you that because he writes a lot of them.
He does.
He writes the songs that makes the whole world sing. All right, those are your FPBs. Now let's take a look at some OTDs. You're in for a treat now, Rick. It happened on this day. It happened on this day. It happened on this day. Rick is looking at me like he may have made a mistake by coming here this morning.
Maybe. How about 9 years ago in 2016, Finding Dory was released. That's when Dory suddenly remembers her parents and goes on a journey to find them. That was a spinoff from Finding Nemo.
Yes. Just keep swimming.
Yeah.
Just keep swimming.
31 years ago in 1994, O.J. Simpson was in the car chase. Yes, everybody remembers that, right? The white Bronco.
Yep.
Made the white Bronco famous.
I remember hanging out in my parents' living room watching that going, what is happening
What
right
is
now?
happening? 95 million Americans watched the 8-hour police chase of O.J. Simpson.
Yep. I just loved, like, people are hanging signs over the overpass. Go, OJ. We love you. It's like
At 20
Only
miles per hour.
20
down the
miles per hour.
Yeah.
Exactly.
highway.
Yeah. Only in America.
Only in America.
All right. How about 42 years ago in 1983, Superman 3 was released. Richard Pryor was in that.
I know.
All right.
I was excited to see that one because of Richard Pryor, and it really wasn't, the movie wasn't that great.
No, Christopher Reeve didn't really want to do those.
Yeah.
He obviously the first one was epic, and
Yeah.
it's what was the catalyst to make him real famous. But
Yeah.
the others, I think he was kind of like, "Wah."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the one that had like evil Superman. Remember he had like a 5 o'clock shadow and his hair was all messed up. Like, what's going on?
Yeah. How about 53 years ago in 1972, President Richard Nixon's downfall began when the 5, quote, plumbers were arrested for breaking into the Democratic National Headquarters in the Watergate Hotel.
Oof.
My favorite part is, not my favorite part, but in Forrest Gump. That was one of the things that he was the phone call that got them busted.
Yep.
Oh, of course.
Forrest got around.
Yes. And 140 years ago, in 1885, the Statue of Liberty arrived in New York City. It was a gift from France.
All right.
I think I saw the other day that the face of the Statue of Liberty is like Mona Lisa face or something.
Really?
Yeah,
I
something.
think I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she has a pretty neutral look.
Yeah.
So
That's your OTDs
There you
for
go.
today. How'd you like those?
those are great.
I mean, they were okay.
Any OTD that can make us think about the OJ car chase, I'm for. Oh my goodness, what a time! What a time to be alive in America.
Yeah.
During the OJ chase and the trial. The trial was just surreal. Those are your FPBs and OTDs for June the 17th. This year marks 10 years of the Great Falls Brew Fest, and we're celebrating in a big way. Join us on June 21st at Samard Payne Memorial Park in Lewiston for live music all day. Over 40 craft breweries, local food trucks, lawn games, and an exclusive art vendor. It's the summer event you don't want to miss, but tickets are going fast. Get yours now at baxterbrewing.com. Great Falls Brew Fest, a decade of craft, community, and celebration. Now we shift focus fully to our guest in studio, owner of UpFront Home Inspections, Rick Browning. Rick, how long have you been in business as UpFront?
I started in April of 2021 is going full-time into this.
And what got you into it?
I've been involved in real estate, owning investment properties in the area since 2017 and wanted to be more involved in real estate. Looked at all the different options, whether becoming a real estate agent, becoming a property manager, and home inspecting, and that's what kind of struck my interest the most. I felt fit my skill set to be able to help the real estate community.
And is this your first foray into entrepreneurship?
It is. Well, I guess owning the rental business was the first, but this is the first, like, going out and trying to find customers.
Yeah.
and,
Isn't that fun?
Oh, it's a blast, yes.
Pam, you can relate.
Oh, yes.
Sounds like a hoot.
Yeah, and I got started just at the right time in the home inspections when everybody was waiving inspections to try and get offers accepted. So
Right.
it was a little bit additional challenge into trying to start a new business.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Tell us about that transition a little bit.
I was in healthcare previously, working for a prosthetic and orthotic company locally for 13 years, and just got tired of healthcare. Just got burnt out from it and needed a change and needed a little bit more flexible schedule because during that whole time with COVID, my wife, she was home with our son who was just starting kindergarten. And she realized that she did not make the wrong career decision in not becoming a kindergarten teacher. And she was getting tired of being at home trying to teach during that whole time. And I was getting burnt out from healthcare. So she got the opportunity to go back to work full time. And I could be home with my son. And we were able to switch roles, and it was good because with it being slow at that time, I was able to slowly grow the business and have that flexibility I needed for the family. Because, I mean, family is important and
Of course, yeah.
first most thing.
Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about UpFront Home Inspections and some of the services you provide.
Sure. So the primary business started as a home inspection, working with either current or prospective homeowners on letting them know the conditions of their home and the maintenance that is needed for the home. When I do go into an inspection, it's not a pass-fail of a house. It's letting the owner know the condition of the home and whether they want to be able to take that on, whether it may not need anything at all or just may need some maintenance. Besides just letting them know that, it's a big education of what they need to maintain this home and keep it healthy. And a lot of the times, what I was starting to find as I'm educating people is they would ask me, well, how do I do that? Or do you have somebody that can do that for me? That's a big part of my business, is being able to refer to local professionals on doing different items, whether it's plumbing, electrician, carpet cleaning, those types of things. And there is a number of services that I found that weren't serviced in this area. One of the big things right off was air duct cleanings. There's not many companies in the area that provide that service, and it's something vital to help keep their air healthy in the home if they have a forced hot air system.
Mm-hmm. Home inspections, whether you're buying or selling a home, it's a vital service.
Definitely. I mean, for the price of it, it can save somebody a lot of money in the long run, knowing what they're getting into.
And we were talking a little bit earlier before we started the podcast, just because it's a new home doesn't mean it doesn't need an inspection.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. Yes. Yeah. Especially some of the bigger complex developments that are going in. There may be one general contractor that's building 10, 15 houses, but they hire a lot of subcontractors. And some of those subcontractors could be great. Some of them might cut corners a little bit. So new built is not well built. And it's vital to get an inspection to make sure that there aren't little issues that could become big issues in the long run. If it's a new built home, I tend to be a little bit pickier going through it. Like if there's a little bit of chip paint somewhere, I'll mark those types of things. Where on a home that's 20, 30, 40 years old, I'll let the client know that, there's some paint could be done here, but it's a lived-in home. It's regular use and abuse that isn't as much of an issue that I would expect to not be there in a new built home.
Right. Rick, what are some of the most overlooked areas of a home that people just tend to forget about that need attention?
Part of a routine maintenance package that I offer address a lot of those issues, and it's in the major areas: the kitchen, the bathroom, and the utility room. In the kitchen, a lot of people don't realize that their dishwasher may have a filter that collects all the little food scraps and can lead to the dishwasher not draining properly. Also, the big thing, everybody uses those little plastic pods for their dishwashers now. That plastic doesn't dissolve fully and clogs up that filter and just needs to be cleaned out. So a lot of people will think that they need a new dishwasher when it's actually just a simple fix of doing a filter change. Bathrooms, the exhaust fans, that's pulling dust up in there and moisture, so it starts to cake on in the fans. It needs to be cleaned to make sure that it's exhausting properly, getting that moisture out of there, and prevented it from rattling, because that dust caking on there can cause it to become off balance and cause it to be noisy. Another big one is dryer vents. Cleaning out dryer vents. It's one of the biggest causes of house fires in the United States. So having that dryer vent cleaned can be very important to, one, make sure that the dryer is running efficiently, reduce that fire hazard, and it will reduce the electrical bill with prices going up, as we heard just a few minutes ago. Anything that can help that a little bit was good.
Yeah.
I'm looking at your Facebook page too, and there's a lot of pictures of you cleaning out people's dryer vents, and there's a lot of stuff in there.
Oh, definitely.
And then one, I think this was a multi-unit, a golf ball.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. It's amazing what I pull out of those things. And some of it's like, I don't know how it gets past that little windscreen, but it's that and air duct cleanings. It's I find I've probably could have built a monstrous building out of Legos of it. The Legos I pull out of air ducts.
Yeah. I actually had you clean out my son's dryer vent. He was complaining that it was making noise and it wasn't working. His dryer wasn't working very well, and it was noisy. And I was like, we can't buy another one. So knowing Rick had done some dryer vent cleanings, had him come over, and it worked like a charm. The dryer started working amazing. It stopped making noise. No issues, and it's still working today. So,
Excellent.
yeah.
You also offer radon testing.
Yes.
Can you explain what radon is and why we should be testing for it?
Sure. So radon is a naturally causing gas that comes up from the earth. It is a byproduct of uranium breaking down, so it is a radioactive gas. And prolonged exposure to the gas in the home can lead to lung cancer. It's the second leading cause of lung cancer in the United States besides smoking. So it's potentially a serious issue, but a very fixable issue. A lot of the newer construction builds, they are taking preventative measures of putting it in to mitigate the gas out of the home. And it's as simple as putting a pipe underneath the foundation that is drawing that gas up and out. So sometimes just having a pipe there will help. If the amount is still elevated, they hook a fan to it that pulls that up and out of the air.
Wow. Interesting. I don't think I've ever had my home tested for radon before.
Yeah, and the EPA recommends that it be tested every 5 to 10 years. Because even here in the state of Maine, where we get multiple minor earthquakes throughout the year, that can change the fissures in the ground and allow new pathways for that gas to come up.
And you also offer mold testing, which I think we all know if it is not treated can become a very serious issue.
Yes. The biggest thing I do for mold testing is an air quality test. So it takes an air sample that I then send off to a lab and will determine what type of mold is in the air. Because mold is naturally, you're always going to have mold in the air. It's when I take the air sample in the house, I compare it to an outdoor sample. So it shows what mold is in the area. It may just be coming in from outside, but also looking at the different types of mold, and there's some that just should not be there, period. So being able to determine that. The biggest places that I will find those are actually quite recently. I've had a lot in attic spaces that aren't vented properly. And then without having that insulation in the winter, it allows condensation to build up pretty easily in an attic space and is the perfect conditions for mold growth.
What areas of Maine do you serve?
I'm based out of New Gloucester. I try and stay about an hour's radius from New Gloucester. Pretty much Waterville South is where I tend to try and serve.
Okay. And a lot of rural area here in the state of Maine. A lot of people have septic systems in their homes.
Yes.
And you offer inspections on those as well.
I do, yes. Yep, I do offer septic inspections. That is probably one of the biggest items the biggest ticket item that I find that there needs work during an inspection. For the cost of it, to save them $15,000 to $20,000 for a new system is great. Another thing, locally here is the Auburn Watershed Protection Committee. They got grant money to have all the homes that have septics in the watershed district to be inspected. I'm one of the vendors that are approved through the watershed committee to do those. So there's a lot of people in the area that will be getting letters and my name's on there. They end up getting reimbursed through the committee with the grant money that's there.
I was checking out some photos on your website, and this isn't just a matter of lifting up the cover and looking down the tank. This is a thorough inspection.
Correct, yes. So what I do with my inspection is I have a camera that it's got a push rod that I could go up to 200 feet with, but I inspect from the house to the tank, the septic tank. In the tank, I look to see if the levels of the solids and oils are at a certain level that require it to be pumped, because it should be pumped every 3 to 5 years. And then from the tank down to the leach field, I do a video inspection to make sure that the pipe hasn't had roots grow in it, hasn't been crushed somehow, that things are able to flow the way that they need to. Another big thing that a lot of people don't realize if they have it is a filter on the outlet side of the septic tank that needs to be cleaned every 6 to 12 months. It's a secondary preventer from solids working their way down to the leach field to protect the leach field. I've actually had 2 in the past couple months where I open up the tank and the tank is filled right to the top. Yep. And the immediate thought is the system has failed. I've been able to, with a hook I have, dig around and find that there is a filter in there, pulled that filter out, everything drained properly, and the system was functional. And thinking that, this is going to be a $15,000 repair, and it's not. It's just a simple cleaning of the filter, and everything's working fine.
And the homeowner's buying you dinner that night, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, thank you so much.
Yeah. And I'm working for the buyer, and the sellers should be buying me dinner because I didn't. They're not taking $15,000 off the sale price because they have to replace it.
That's right. I have a septic system at my house, and a lot of people don't think that you're not supposed to park cars over your tank or your leach field, right? Correct. How far underground are those units?
So it varies, but I believe new code is that the tank shouldn't be more than 12 inches underground. If it is, it should have a riser so that it's easy access for pumping and cleaning. And then the leach field itself, that is anywhere from 12 to 24 inches underground. I've had some older systems where they were 4 feet underground, and that's fun trying to dig that out. Luckily, they're not all like that.
Yeah. This was years and years and years ago. I was at a party at a friend's house in Portland, and it was during the summertime. We were all playing volleyball, and everybody's jumping up and down on the ground playing volleyball. And after an hour or two, the ground started getting damp. Like, what is this? Whatever. We kept playing. And turns out,
right over the leach field.
Right over the leach field.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds like the system was just on its way out.
It's on its way out. Yeah. If it can't handle the volleyball game.
Yeah.
It's going. You also offer water quality and well water testing as well.
Yeah, that is, there are some loans that require the condition of the water be tested. The big thing looking in that is looking for bacterias, but also any other minerals that may cause off smells or even could end up causing corrosion to the piping itself.
Mm-hmm.
This photo, what is that?
That is the refrigerator coils. Yeah, so...
Look at this.
Yeah.
Oof.
And then after.
Wow.
Yeah, so the refrigerator coils are a big thing. Just like the dryer vent not running efficiently, refrigerator coils are very important as well, too. I'm sure everybody's started to pull that refrigerator out because they dropped something behind it, and then they just immediately push it back because they don't really want to see what's behind there.
Yeah, exactly. So, never mind.
So there's a fan that blows air over the refrigerator coils that has the coolant in it, and with that fan blowing, it's always drawing air through, so any little dust and debris that's on the floor gets sucked right through there and will accumulate on those refrigerator coils. Yeah. And then the refrigerator has to work harder because the dust acts as an insulator on it and not letting that cool off like it's supposed to.
And so especially if you have pets, that's something that you'd want to clean and maintain more regularly than if you didn't.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure.
We offer that typically on a yearly maintenance schedule.
Things you don't think about, right? Like, and I just had this conversation. It's like maintenance. You maintain your car on a regular basis.
Yes.
Like you change your oil, like you have to. That's expected, but you don't think about doing these same things for your home. But it's the same idea. It's going to save you money in the long run because if you just let it go, it's just going to ruin the parts of your home and you're going to have to replace it. So getting ahead of it and maintaining it regularly like you do your car makes complete sense.
Definitely. Yep. There's many things where people that I've gone and they're like, oh, I think I need a new washer, or a new dryer, new dishwasher. It's not draining right. It's not drying as quickly as it used to. And they're ready to go out and spend $500 to $1,000 on a new appliance when simple cleaning we'll save them that money at a fraction of the cost.
$500 on the low end.
Yeah,
Correct. Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, for used maybe. Homeowners, home buyers, there is so much more
There is.
than
Yes.
just signing the paperwork. Yeah, to give you peace of mind on both sides,
Definitely.
right?
Definitely.
Yeah,
And it's never ending.
true. Yes, it's
There's always something coming up.
always
something.
As soon as you fix everything, the first thing starts over again. So,
And honestly, if you don't own, if you're renting, I think mentioning to your landlord, like, hey, if something seems off, whether it be dryer or air ducts or anything like that, you can be like, this might be a good option to have this checked out or whatever.
yeah, and that's one thing I'm doing is I started working with a local property manager that going into the units annually, one to do some of these maintenance things like that refrigerator coil picture you're looking at was from an apartment building, and so being able to help maintain some of those items, and it's amazing how many times just a tenant having somebody that they know is from maintenance in the apartment, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, while you're here,
How many things
the
come
toilet's
up?
been running for 3
right.
months. It's like call your landlord. They're gonna get that fixed.
Right.
This is costing them lots of money on their water bill. So being able to have that, even if it's not your own house, but if you own properties, having the routine maintenance could end up catching lots of things in the long run to help keep the building safe and whatnot.
Rick, what's the worst DIY or contractor piece of work that you have run across?
Probably multiple times trying to repair structural issues in the basement.
Yikes.
I've seen lots of different things where people are trying to shim up to hold things together, and I can't think of any one specific thing right offhand, but
You just
items
walk
that
down-
items that should not be there.
Yeah. You just walk down there and you're like, oh, this is not right.
Well, anytime you put DIY and structural pieces, those shouldn't go together. Like hire a professional when it's depends on your structure of your home or building.
It's okay if you just need to get it done quick to get somebody there.
Right.
Yeah.
But as a long-term solution, it's not great.
Hire the professionals.
Yeah.
This has been great, Rick. Anything else about UpFront Home Inspections that you would like to share with our listeners?
In regards to the maintenance plans, I offer it either on an annual, biannual, or quarterly service. Everything is based on pretty much an a la carte type pricing. So if anybody is interested, I'm more than willing to come out to give them a quote and work within their budget.
And how do folks learn more about UpFront Home Inspections?
UpFrontHI.com is my website. It has a lot of information. It's still in the process of, I've just had it rebuilt and still modifying to include in all the services that I do offer. But finding there, and also UpFront Home Rick Browning on Facebook and Instagram to see all the items I encounter and can help clean.
All right.
Or inspect.
And you do a great job with your social media as well. As Pam has found throughout the podcast, she's checking out photos of the before and afters. So, I mean, that's a huge deal, especially if you're someone who has that same issue at your home. And you can look at the quality of the work you do as well, And I love your example of moving the refrigerator and moving it back. Who needs those car keys?
Yeah.
I'll deal with it later. I'll call a taxi.
I don't want to go back there.
It's scary.
Because you don't know if that furry thing's alive or not.
That's right. That's right. I think I saw a tail.
Yeah.
Whether you want a sit-down meal or a grab-and-go, Pat's Pizza in Auburn offers delicious sandwiches, pasta, salads, and pizza at family-friendly prices. Pat's Pizza, serving the LA area since 1985. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. at 85 Center Street in Auburn. Online at patsauburn.com.
Next year marks 30 years of Uncle Andy's Digest. What started as a beloved print publication has grown into Lydia Media, a full-service marketing partner helping local businesses thrive. From LA Metro Magazine and the Lydia's Lunch Bunch podcast to social media management, website design, and advertising across all platforms, we've got your marketing needs covered. If you're a business making a difference in our community, let's connect. Lydia Media is here to tell your story and help you grow. Lydia Media, in business, for business. Learn more at lydiamediallc.com.
Rick, we like to close the show with a segment called 3 Random Questions, where we ask you a few questions that have nothing to do with your profession. You good with that?
Give it a try.
All righty. Are you a sports fan or a music fan or?
I like sports.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I watch them mostly. So.
Right. What's your favorite sport?
Football.
Okay, if you could attend any football game in history and have the best seats in the house, what would it be?
I forget the exact game, but just one that always sticks out in my mind is the Patriots playoff game where it was snowing in the stands and just everybody throwing up the snow as they were winning. That would probably be one that I'd like to attend.
Yeah, and they were doing like snow angels in the end zones and stuff. Yeah, that was fun. I love that. Given the choice of any game in history, you want to go to one where it's snowing.
Yeah,
I love it.
That would not be my choice.
I would prefer that over the 120 degrees sitting in the stands.
Right. Awesome.
Or not many football games where it's 120 in the stands.
No, sometimes
In Arizona.
Yeah.
In Arizona, yeah.
Yeah.
At the beginning of
Yeah.
the season,
Yeah.
preseason.
It's a little
first
warm.
week or two of the September.
Yeah.
So
I have one. If you could take up any hobby, regardless of cost, what would it be?
I'd like to homebrew, and I've been doing that for a while. But something that I've started to become acquired to is bourbon. So if I could learn how to actually produce bourbon as a hobby, that would be fun.
Yep. We should have them in on tasting tales
I was
someday.
just about to mention, yeah. We have,
We've had a couple of bourbon or whiskeys? Or
I think it was bourbon. Isn't Angel's Envy?
I think
That's a bourbon.
Yeah. I'd never drank bourbon before in my life. And we had a tasting tales segment here where Rupers provides us with a beverage every week. And Pam brought in Angel's Envy. And it was like incredible. I might just turn into a bourbon drinker now.
I think Rupers has turned Mark into quite the...
I'm a connoisseur now.
Yeah.
of everything. He's like, I don't drink wine, but this is great. I don't drink seltzers, but this is great. I don't drink bourbon. I've never had bourbon. This is amazing.
Pam is teaching me all kinds of lingo from the biz. Right, Pam?
Yeah. Unlike Mark, I like it all.
But
all.
and then I found out that the Angel's Envy costs like $100 a bottle. It
does.
So I was like, maybe I'll try a different bourbon. So I got like a $30 bottle, and I'm like, this does not taste like Angel's Envy.
Yeah, I think Rupers realized that pretty quick too. We haven't had bottles of bourbon very often anymore.
And even this one brand, you can have a wide variety because I think they have a $50 bottle up to over
over
100.
Yep.
So
all depends which one you want to go for.
Yeah.
What are you celebrating?
That's right. Am I worth $100 bottle? Really? Do you have a preference for bourbon?
I don't have a preference yet. I'm still getting into it a little bit, and again, it's being able to afford those bigger bottles.
Right.
So you'll enjoy this. This is the second time, but this September I'm going to a music festival, Bourbon and Beyond.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rick's like, how do I get tickets?
Yeah.
It's in Kentucky. But yeah, some friends of ours that we're going with is planning. We're definitely going to tour the Bullet Distillery, and I think all the other distilleries. We might just do tastings because we don't want to, tour every distillery. But yeah, the best old fashioned I've ever had was down there, and I want to say it was Maker's Mark where I had it. It was delicious.
Yeah.
All right, Rick, final question here. What's your favorite way to unwind after a busy day?
Really, I like to just, I love grilling. I have a big green egg smoker. So at the end of the day, I like to just fire that up, throw some barbecue on it, and just relax
And sip some bourbon.
Sip some bourbon.
Oh, sounds like a perfect evening.
Yeah. A little campfire going too.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I love it.
Nice.
You set the scene here. Now that's what I want to do tonight.
Right.
Right. Rick, it's been a pleasure. Thanks so
Yes.
much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Much appreciate you and your time today. And we want to thank our sponsors, Ruper's Beverage and Redemption and United Piping. And if you'd like to be part of the Lydia's Lunch Bunch advertising family, reach out to Pam via email at pam@lydiamediallc.com.
Have a great day. And remember, don't bite your cat. And I will say I have bitten my cat.